Day 7, Hustler University. The heat is starting to rise. Flames are licking. Some people are going, good Lord. I know the last week, the first Hustler Challenge is a doozy, but it's designed to teach you some things. And with that, we're going to continue on. Moving on to the birth of a salesman. Yes, yes, yes. I want to teach you to be salespeople. Now understand, being a salesperson in 2013 is totally different than being a salesperson in 2003. The difference is the consumer is incredibly more savvy. And the competition for those dollars are intense. But this is the good news. Old school salesman tactics still work, and they work very, very well. Because everyone is running online, right? If you have been a long time member of the Hustler Mindset Project, there was one task where to go out and meet people, because people don't meet people. That is your secret sauce. That is your ninja. That is a talent that can make you rich, being able to communicate with strangers. Because understand, communicating is selling. Communicating is selling. It's an exchange of ideals, concepts, and resources for ideals, concepts, resources, or cash. Cash being considered a resource. So with this salesman that's in you, you're going to have to start talking to people. Because I'll give you a very, I'll give you one of my dating lessons. I learned that if I talked to enough women that I found desirable, I would get exactly what I wanted. Now, the thing is, in the beginning, it was rough. It was rough. I mean, a lot of women, a lot of conversations, and then as you go through this process, especially with being in sales, the more people you talk to about your sales process, the faster you're going to learn what works for you. There are some people who are really good at befriending people. There's folks who are really good on product knowledge, and there are folks that are really good on consulting. You're not going to really know what is your strength until you start working, and you have to talk to people. So, I am a firm believer in asking ye shall receive. So this task is going to be short. Day 7 is going to be short because there's a lot of folks who are still behind. So I'm not going to stop the Hustler University course because, we're going to rock and roll for 30 days. But what I am going to do is add some Hustler Mindset chats at the end. There's the first one next week on the 8th. And I'm going to add some more. And we're going to talk, and we're going to create this hub of activity, because I do feel that there are many of you who can actually help each other out in the group, but you don't know each other and you don't know what you're doing. So I think the group is an awesome source of resources for people, but we need to say, hey, raise your paw and say, this is what I do. Okay. Another thing you need to do is learn to work the phones. Phone conversations and emails work much better than Facebook, work much better than Twitter and all this other stuff, because that's the reason there are companies that still employ telemarketers, because it works. Now, it works better if you know the person. So we're going to have like a little phone course in here too. But for your first Hustler U challenge, you got to learn to work the phones, because you got to hit these people. You email them and they don't respond. Okay, then you call them. And if they don't call you back, then you call them again. Then you email them. You have to be relentless. You have to be relentless, because people are insulated in their own world of life, what's going on in life. And sometimes it takes a hammer upside the head to actually get in there and say, oh, really? Oh, that's what you want? Sure. Because they're so preoccupied and there's so many things coming. You really have to just amp it up. And the best way, if you're going to send emails, there's got to be a sweetener. You've got to put some in it. WIIFM. What's in it for me? That is the American way. You can't get around it. That's why old, raggedy, wrinkly billionaires can marry 21-year-olds. And actually, those 21-year-old girls are sleeping with Mr. Bones. They're doing it because the benefits are out of this world. So, you gotta work on that. You have to work on that. And I'm not giving you like what it should be, because each one of you has a special gift, talent, whatever. And it's time to take that shovel and dig into your soul and figure out what is your thing. Because you're not going to know unless you start doing the stuff and talking to people. Now, this is something that I learned from being in outside sales and inside sales, and it just really was invaluable in helping our company grow. You have to learn to prospect for customers and product sources. The big thing with the resale business, and that's what a lot of people are doing, is garage sales, storage auctions, and Goodwill and thrift stores. Product is all around you. It's your friends, it's your neighbors, it's your church, it's all around you. I think if you are a reseller, you just prospecting here and there on Goodwill or just the weekends, you're missing 5 to 6 days, player, of prime prospecting opportunities. So you got to develop a plan. This goes back to, what are you going to sell? Because let's see, give you an example of something that's really, really hot that you can actually build a business on if you knew what to do. Take motorcycles. People love motorcycles. It's spring, they're out there. Now, this is going to be something you need a little cash to get into, but say, and also your state limit may or may not come into play, but there's ways around that. But say you're good enough to recondition a bike, and you know how to buy them, or you know how to flip them to other dealers. You develop a plan and you start prospecting for bikes. What would you do? You would join a bike club, first of all. Then you would join bike forums, and then you would do everything that's bike related. Say you wanted to sell appliances on Craigslist. You would run an ad every day that, hey, I buy appliances. I pick up older running appliances. You could be literally picking up $50 to $500 worth a day worth of stuff, and it's not free because there's your cost and time. But this is where having the plan comes in, because I know resale and picking and getting these old signs and stuff, it's awesome. Americana, it's wonderful. But the thing is, you may be walking past $1,000 to get 30. I've seen it. I was at this garage sale, and this guy was an older guy, and his wife had died. It was a very, very sad story. And I just kind of lingered around because I just had a feeling. And people were like going for all of the collectibles, and there was all kinds of stuff, and he was just selling it because he wanted it gone. And I just hung around, and there was some stuff going on, and some people had left a mess, and I just instantly was like, look, I'm going to help you because, these folks are crazy. And I just started, cleaning up his stuff, helping him with stuff, and he said, thanks, friend. And I asked him, I hit him with my pitch. I was like, you have any broken jewelry or guns? Or he said, yeah, I have a lot of guns. Actually, I've been really thinking about how am I going to get rid of them, because I was thinking about giving them to my son, but he's an asshole. So, long story short, I left there with 30 guns for $1,500. I sold 3 pistols and got my money back. Just being aware, Now, seriously, it's just, I know a lot about certain firearms. I know a lot about generators. It's just a little Honda generator. It just depends on the model of the year, the amps. It's $300, maybe $1,500. It just depends on how much power it puts out. There are many things that you can buy and put in your car that will make you a few $100s or more if you're open to it. Do not get locked into collectible world. And this is how you do it. If you like collectibles and stuff, have a section. And don't just have a regular section. Trick it out. Because you can do these other things. Your collectible booth could just be tricked out with really high-end stuff, nicer stuff. You have a few, things to move here and there to get the rent paid, but you can just change your whole business philosophy. And it takes a little time. But essentially, you develop a plan for prospecting for customers and product sources. You pick something. Or you pick 2 or 3 things, and you know those things inside and out. You would be able to make money from your knowledge. That's why I started off like you with the, go to a garage sale, get something, and hope to get lucky. I'm not saying stop doing that. I'm saying put an additional item product or service in your quiver of income arrows. You want a bunch of arrows back there. You don't want just a few. Now, this is something that I don't really talk about on YouTube, but I do it all the time. I am constantly pitching, and I'm constantly testing. You'll see, hey, there's this weekend offer. That's a test. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work, but I'm always doing it because people are changing, and you need to do it too. You need to figure out what is the compelling reason that someone should give you money. You need to figure that out. Why should they give you their money? Once you have a really good answer, you'll start seeing more money. Learn to pitch 10 times a week. What's a pitch? You're walking down the street, or you went to get a taco or something, and you see this storefront that looks a little deserted, and you walk in and you just start asking questions. It's like, hey, my name's Glendon, and I was just noticing your store. You've got a lot of neat stuff in here. And just hit them over the head. Like, you're selling it, you're getting rid of it. What's the deal? You become a detective of cash. I don't know how many times a lot of times it leads nowhere. You're just talking to someone. You might make a new friend. You might make a new connection. But I got a warehouse, not a big warehouse, a little warehouse full of copper because I was asking questions. And this is why when you're out there, you need to pay attention to your surroundings. You need to really be just looking. Like if you live in the town and there's this store and you see that they're going out of business, you need to be heading over there. If they're going out of business, why? Do they have any needs? Are they giving anything away? Why? You need to ask. Pitching 10 times a week is you're going to either pitch 5 times to get product for as little as possible, or you're going to go. That's what I was doing most of my pitching, to get products, to get inventory. That's my pitching now. My pitching now is to sell my products, but people are in their own space, and you don't know what thing may make them go, ooh, yeah, I want to do that. You have to ask. You have to put it out there. And the thing is, when you're pitching and you're testing and you're testing and you're testing, you'll start to figure out what really works for your business. Because one of the things about businesses online, and this is another reason that you're here in the Hustler University and you're in the Hustler Mindset Project, is this is hidden from the internet. Because when you put stuff up on YouTube, everyone can see it. People can reverse engineer it, and they will. So this is why I preach you must have your own website. Because when you sell stuff on Amazon, you sell stuff on eBay, you can be tracked, copied, knocked out, underpriced very easily. But when you're doing certain things on your website and no one knows what you're doing, they can kind of guess, and really good people will get close. But you knock out all of the what I call slack competition. These are folks who they prey on what other people do. They don't do their own work, and they're successful with it because there's so many people that are just like, hey, here is my DNA. I've actually had it copied and presented in these forms. Here, you want one? I mean, seriously, that's how bad it is. But pitch, learn to pitch, learn to say, hey, my name's Glendon, and what can I do for you? Or what do you have? Ask questions. I mean, seriously, if you get a person with 6 or 7 real intelligent questions and they've got some juicy, usually you'll get it because no one's asking. People are assuming and feel entitled to certain things. Go out and just help someone out, like with garage sales. A lot of people are rude. They don't say hello. When you show up at a garage sale, be memorable. Because when in the How to Find Gold book, there's a certain technique that I used that was very, very successful. And I'll talk about that in that book. But this is your business. And being a salesperson is going to get you further than anything else, because Bill Gates was a salesperson, Steve Jobs was a salesperson, Larry Page and the other guy were salespeople, Jack Welch for GE was a salesperson. You have to be able to communicate what you want from people to get it. Now, this is the challenge on top of the challenge. Each day, you're going to write When I say write, send a message. It will not be a group message. People hate that shit. You're going to send 10 unique messages to 10 Facebook friends every day until you go through your list. And you're going to ask for something. This is part of the challenge. You're going to say, hey, do not do the group thing. Don't do it. People get pissed off and they come out of the conversation because they don't feel special. This is your chance to build your tribe. I can tell all of you with a great deal of certainty that if you build a tribe of 500 people that like you, your services and products, you will not have to worry about money again as long as you have that tribe intact. 500. Seriously, 500. I know it's like, what? Start focusing on that. Forget hey, I want thousands of people. I mean, seriously, most relationships on the internet are very tertiary. If that. They may not even be at that level. They could be elementary. So by building a tribe and using customer relation management software such as Salesforce, you need some way to keep up with all of this stuff. You have to have it. Gold mine something. Yes, it's an investment. There's free stuff out there. You can use that in a pinch. And it takes time. I want you to think what your business and life will be like this time next year if you consistently work hard on it. I'm going to give you some more tools, some more techniques, and some surprises with Hustler U. So with that, that's this session. This is Glendon, and I'll see you on the good side.